everyone, it's Jennifer from Flux. In this video, I'm going to show you how to crochet these beautiful and super duper easy lace wrapped Easter eggs. This is just a few rows of crochet that we've hot glued onto some artificial eggs, and they make a really fun and delicate little display item for your spring decor. I picked some very springy colors here, but you can use any scraps that you have on hand. So let's get started. For this project, you'll need a pair of scissors, a tapestry needle, a hot glue gun. We're going to be using a 5mm H crochet hook. This is my Furls Odyssey, in case you're wondering. For the yarn, we're going to be using a yarn called Chic Sheep. Now, if you want to substitute yarn, just look on the yarn label for a 4 medium yarn on the yarn weight scale and one that recommends the 5mm H crochet hook, and you'll be just fine. As a side note, you can use whatever yarn you have, really. I just wanted to pick one that wasn't too chunky because we are going to be wrapping it around an egg, and we don't want it to be so big and wide that it just looks sloppy or kind of hangs over or something like that. So you want something more on the lighter side of things. And then our eggs here, now we are going to be using artificial eggs. These are some eggs that I found. Let me actually grab the label for you so you can see. I got these at the craft store. They're plastic, but they have a finish on them that takes dye, and it comes with a little dye packet. But I'm going to be using them. I thought they looked more natural than the plastic eggs. You can use plastic eggs. It's totally up to you. And actually, those are really bright and fun as well. But I thought these looked kind of real to me, so I chose those. But feel free to use any eggs that you may have on hand. To begin, we're going to put a slip knot on our hook. So wrap the yarn around your fingers to make a loop. Bring the yarn behind the loop, reach in with your hook, bring up a loop, and tighten. Next, we're going to chain 7. So I'm going to zoom in just a teeny bit more so you can see. To make a chain, wrap yarn around hook and bring it through the loop. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So here is our starting chain. You don't want to make it too tight, but you want it to be nice and neat and give you the ability to work into those chains later. The next thing we're going to do is work our first fan. Our fan row here is only going to be 1 fan tall, okay? It's going to be nice and narrow and go up and make a band so that we can wrap it around our eggs later. So in the 5th chain from the hook, this loop here does not count. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to work 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet. So to make a double crochet, wrap yarn around hook, insert it into that 5th chain from the hook, bring up a loop, wrap yarn around hook, bring it through the first 2 loops, wrap yarn around hook, bring it through the last 2 loops. Okay, so that was 1 double crochet, then we're going to make a 2nd double crochet, then we're going to chain 1, then we're going to make 2 more double crochets, all in that same chain. Okay, so 1 and 2. Just like that, okay? Next, we're going to work a double crochet in the last chain. So skip that next chain, and then that very last chain, work a double crochet. Easy as pie, row 1 is complete. Okay, so it's just going to look like that to start, okay? Then we're going to work on row 2. Row 2 is the row that you'll repeat for the rest of your egg band. Okay, so we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and turn our work. Now that fan we created, remember we put that chain 1, we did 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet. That chain 1 creates a space. In the pattern on the blog, I refer to it as the chain 1 space. So in that chain 1 space, we're going to work a fan. So remember, that's 2 double crochet, 1 and 2, chain 1, my yarn ball's inching over, and then in the same space work 2 more double crochet. So 1 and 2, just like that. Now you can see our fans start to stack on themselves. Okay, now find that turning chain, and in that turning chain space work a double crochet. So when you made your turning chain, it created a space between the fan and the turning chain. Work a double crochet right into that turning chain space. Okay, So now we have our little band. So next, what we need to do is just keep repeating row 2. Let me grab one of my eggs until our band is long enough to wrap around an egg, okay? So I'm going to put a few more rows in and then we'll rejoin and I'm going to show you how many rows I've done and we're going to attach it to our egg as well. Okay, so here is my little egg band. Now I did a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rows, but depending on your tension and the yarn that you've chosen, you may need to do more or less. It's just try it on your egg as you go and see. Now I have my egg here, and if I wrap it around, it makes a nice snug fit, okay? So what we're going to do now is take your hook and your scissors, and you want to just trim the yarn and cut it off. And then wrap the yarn around the hook, bring it through the loop, and we're going to weave the ends in next. And then the last thing, we're going to attach it to our egg. Now, if you don't want if you want to put this on real eggs, for example, or you don't want it to have a permanent adhesion to the egg, what you can do is sew the ends in together and sort of make a little like cowl for your egg. Okay, so I'm going to I just threaded my tapestry needle and I'm just going to go in one direction with my tail and then come back in the other direction with my tail just to get that end out of the way. Now this particular stitch that I used to make this band is reversible, so you can kind of pick your favorite side. It really doesn't matter, it's reversible. But as you're weaving your ends in, you'll want to be mindful of things popping out. So if you have, if you're going in the back loops when you weave in your ends, just make that the inside part, okay? So let's just weave in this other tail. You should have one where you started, one where you ended. Now a lot of the yarns that are more of like the ombres and things like that are really pretty too to display the color. I chose this salmon color, it's so pretty. All right, so then what you want to do is pick your favorite side and we're going to grab our egg. Now my egg is fairly little, it's not super big. Some eggs are gigantic. And we're just going to wrap it around the egg and just sort of position it how you want it to go. And you want to give it a little bit of a tug just to get that lace on display, okay? That's that beautiful lace. And then you can grab your hot glue gun and we can attach it next. So I've been warming up my glue gun while I've been weaving in my ends and getting everything together. So what we want to do now is grab an end, and you want to go, eggs are kind of tapered at the bottom, you want to go around this broader top part of the egg. And we're just going to take the end and tack it down. Now if you're doing this on a plastic egg, my egg is plastic but it's painted, but you want to just be very sparing with your hot glue, partially because you can melt your egg, but also it'll ooze through your yarn. So you just want to like gently tack it down like that, and then we're going to wrap it around our egg and we're going to tack it on this side too. So I need to give mine a little tug to give it some stretch. And then what I do is hold it with my thumb and sort of flip it up. You don't have to glue around the entire egg. You can if you want to. It may slip around a little bit, but mine are just going to be on display, so I'm just doing the ends here. And then you'll just want to let it meet this side. You can sort of push it into place. And then flip your egg around, and then you can sort of position it around, open up that lace a little bit. You can get your tapestry needle and just sort of shape things up, push things around. And there is our lace banded egg. It looks so cute. I love it. So you can do a whole dozen of these. You can do a couple of them. So I went ahead and made a few more in some other spring colors, and you'll want to just make sure the glue has completely cooled and dry before you use them. Now you could put them in a bowl, you could line them up on a shelf, you could hang them from a tree, and they just look so fun and pretty and springy. So that is how you crochet some lace wrapped Easter eggs. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure and click the subscribe button to get all the latest Fiber Flux video updates. Thanks again.